Hi guys, I've tidied up my meter board. First of all, this is where my sort of YouTube lighting comes into play. Instead of buying these fancy pantsy LEDs, may as well get a street light and make one out of random scrap like that pole and a street light that I found with an incandescent bulb in it. So yeah, not really it's 150 watts, but who cares? Alright, that's how it rolls. Just unplug the fluoro. There we go. Okay, well, I made this video just to show you I tidied up my meter board quite a bit. It was a bit of a monstrosity before. Let me just move this. Perfect lighting. Bit bright, but who cares? I've got these out just so they can be checked and tested. I hope I've used I'm not putting like too much load on it, so I'm only using 1.5mm wire, and so that can handle around probably top load 15 amps. And this is protected by a 10 amp circuit breaker. I'm going to cover these up, and that's just there's nothing wrong, I've just covered that up because I've had to splice into this and I'd rather have some protection. Also attach this not quite nicely. These clips, I've kept my motor timers on them. I plan to power those up another day, but first of all, this whole assembly isn't actually working. That's why I've got these out, because they need testing. Nothing didn't go bang or anything. Just for some reason the light wasn't turning on, and the meter was not turning. But this is how I wired it up. There's the load there, line, neutral, and then the neutral there, and that's the line coming in, power in, the neutral in, and then the neutral out, and the power out there. So then the power out, of course, is going to the socket here. This is 10 amps rated, 250 volt, like every socket is. Unless it's a 15 amp one, where the earth slot is a bit longer. But this is a 10 amp meter, and I don't plan to be using too much current, but I can certainly run this 10 amps for a very long time. I can run this 10 amps for a few days, it'll be fine, because it's a long-term 10 amps. I can probably run it 15 amps. It's pushing it a little bit, and it's also putting a bit of load on this wiring, and I don't really want to put 15 amps through this 1.5mm cable. Of course, this is all flex. I'm not using pure TPS like up there, but of course it's just a regular 10 amp. Well, this is a light switch actually. It's a 10 amp light switch, but of course it should be able to break 10 amps. That's what it's rated for, of course. It's brand new pretty much. Well, it's old new. It's been in its case from the 70s and 80s. I guess this has been used a few times. These are the quite funny little circuit breakers, because these can actually work on direct current as well. The little midget, what they're called, midget. They work on 440 volts AC and 125 volts DC, which is quite funny, because I don't know, in industrial places where you can use direct current, but I guess they do. So, but I put a 10 amp one here, so I'm certainly quite protected. Oh, what else? But yeah, these are the little Sangamo ones. I like these ones. Nice. I've got the 1 in 100ths dial here, which is actually quite satisfying to look at, because when you're putting high load 10 amps on it, or even 15, have pushed this up to 15. I've also pushed this up to 26. Some people won't like that, but 26 very short term by the inrush current of that compressor there. And yeah, that needs a lot of maintenance. It's quite old. Well, not quite old, very old. But yeah, I hope you guys like it. If you look at my other videos, this was a big monstrosity, and I had an earth and a neutral bar here, and I got told to remove the neutral bar, and I did. But no need to have any bars now. They're just all connected in grommets here, because I don't want this wiring splicing causing short circuits. And yes, I have earthed these because it is by code required to earth metal boxes. And this also had an it's a little earthing bar inside there, like you can't really see it, but it's a little point where you slot the wire and you turn the screw and it earths it correctly. But yeah, I have these open to do tests. This is just a regular 10 amp socket, no need to put in a 15 amp one, because I don't have 15 amp sockets in this garage. I've only got one 20 amp circuit breaker running this whole garage, and yes, I have popped that many times because of doing stupid things. And that's why transformers come into use a lot of the time, and that's why this comes into use as well. I can actually monitor how much power I'm using via the electricity meter. But I don't intend to overuse this, like pulling too much current through it, because I only I use sometimes stove heat elements on it, but they're usually 2 kilowatt, and the voltage here is 230, so it's around 8-9 amps. That's alright. Could probably put another. No, I could probably put a maybe a fan heater and one of these lights, and it would be fine. 2 kilowatt, which the English people would say electric fire. I could have one electric fire running. Oh yes, that screw fell in there. But yes, all of this cable just is 1.5 millimeters squared. I prefer to use 2.5, to be honest. You can get those cables, because I'd rather have a thicker cable than a too thin one. But like I said, I'm not going to be running high amps through these. And oh look, almost at 0. But yeah, got to do some tests on that. But these timers will come in another day. And of course my made in New Zealand street light, working quite happily. I've got some other lights in there. Quite good. Had some mice problems in here I'm not too happy about, but they've all gone and died. That makes me happy. Yeah, tell me your feedback in the comments about this. I hope you guys like it. It's just a small board. Like I said, I'm not intending to put load through this, or heaps of load through it. Just 10 amps, maybe a little bit above it, just to push this guy. But I'm also planning to repaint this meter. In the comments you can say yay or nay to the meter, but I'm thinking of painting it, because I don't want any rust or grime build up, because it's the paint's it's peeling off, so might as well paint it. But I'll leave it for now. And if you guys are wondering what brand all the stuff is, of course the meter's Sangamo. That's Sangamo, the 2 motor timers. The plug is PDL, and the flex, I'm not too sure, it's just a random flex, a PDL socket. These were originally built in the 1960s, and they stopped making these back in the 1980s. And I think they still got these plugs online. You could still buy them, but New Zealand, the electricity board, and New Zealand electricians don't want us to use the unsleeved pins, and I totally agree with them, because it is pretty unsafe having an unsleeved pin. But as long as you don't dick around and put your fingers behind here, you'll pretty much be fine. It's a midget circuit breaker, it's a PDL light switch, and these are PDL boxes as well. But yeah, I think these were in the 70s, and they stopped these in the 80s. Well, they might have been 60s actually, I'm not sure. I'm starting to clean up this garage monstrosity. It's pretty messy. Make some more light. This is also another handmade fitting. This fitting was already on here, but I got this new light switch. Good old fluorescent tubes, the T12s. Okay, put this on. But yeah, I intend to clean all of this stuff up. It's getting quite dirty. And if you guys are wondering about lighting, all these fittings are T12, and I'm not intending of changing them at any time soon because they're still working pretty well. But that's quite loud. Well, mind you, it's always been loud. The lathe, I'm not going to use that anytime soon. Bloody scary, that thing. So yeah, shortly, slowly cleaning it up. But hold on. Keep hearing a funny sound. Oh, it's probably the light. Yeah, so better turn these off, wasting a bit of power. I know they're like 35 watts. These do get quite warm actually. Oh, I've got to show you guys something. Okay, right. This is not on. Okay. You unplug it. Yep, that's all good. Turn this off. Hold on. Alright, from here I'm going to turn. This is killing all the power. It's going to kill that light as well. Watch this. Now what on earth is that all about? Oh shit. When I kill the power there, that light dims down. Turn it off. There's a 10 amp switch here, right there. It's quite weird. I guess it's because since the motor is still going, motors can generate electricity. So since when you turn this off, this may be generating still quite a bit of, maybe a bit of voltage or something, and it's ballasting that. And that's why it dims down. But tell me in the comments, I may be wrong, probably am wrong actually, but tell me in the comments, you guys, please, because I'd really love to know why on earth my fluorescent light does that. And yes, that does rattle a bit. Selector. My grandfather had this for years, certainly older than me, probably 30, 40 years old. Maybe even older. Ball bearings. But you know, sounds fine. I guess. Like, you guys tell me in the comments if you want me to do some I'm going to do some modifications actually, because this stuff, having no screen guard, is not good at all. It's quite dangerous. So, yeah, it's not good. Never have no screen guard. Don't be stupid like me. And always wear glasses. I have glasses, but at least that's some sort of protection. I'd always have a screen guard for these things. And yeah, I don't have any emergency stop for that. Well, I don't think it's not really required. Only my emergency stop is something like that, pulling that, or that. Well, that's not plugged into anywhere. It's actually not wired, but I'm going to wire this up so I can control that little beast over there. And for you guys that want to hear it fire up, I will turn it off first. I don't want to cause any arcs. Let's plug it in, shall we? Nice. Need some serious maintenance. not really any sort of like contactor or there's a starting capacitor, but I'm not sure if there's a contactor to start it. There's only just this bastard switch here. But what I'm planning to do is build a start-stop module, like I'm gonna do with that. Have a contactor in and build a box and have that thing running off that. Press the start, starts it up, and press stop. And there's some lubrication there. But yeah, it's yeah, so that's about it for this video, guys. Please give a thumbs up to this. But yeah, until next time, thank you for watching.